February 17th, 2020, Indianapolis, a woman named Jane Warfield is about to make a decision that will cost her her life.
They were trying to kill me. Yeah, they tried to kill me, so anything happened to me.
In less than 24 hours, she'll be dead, shot twice, and crashed into another car at 90 miles per hour.
Spun it at least 3 times, and it hit the Altima. So when he gets out the car in one piece, which I was very surprised, he runs over to the Camaro to make sure she was all right.
She was transported to the hospital and she succumbed to her injuries there and passed away at the hospital.
But before we get to that tragic ending, we need to talk about what led up to it. Jane went by Jane the Mayor Warfield on social media, and she lived up to that name. Bold, outspoken, never one to back down from a fight. She ran a tire shop, had kids, and wasn't afraid to speak her mind. But on February 17th, Jane was about to cross a line that would change everything. That morning, Jane went live on Facebook. And what she said, it sent shockwaves through Indianapolis.
I see the whole bird in front of my whole 2 eyes. 2 eyes. I had to come here and tell them about it. Listen. Happened earlier today. Hold on. This nigga, y'all, that... Hold on, let me wait for some more people to get on here. Because y'all got to hear this story, because this is a good story. You know, we hear a lot of shit, but we don't never really get to see that shit, because these niggas, they hiding. Listen, y'all, they're hiding behind the covers in the sheets around this. The covers in the sheets. You feel me? The covers in the sheets. Hiding. They're hiding.
But what exactly had Jane so worked up? Well, according to her, she had just witnessed something that left her traumatized. She claimed she'd been doing business with a man, someone she'd been intimate with years ago. Let's call him Jamael, because that's the name she was about to make infamous.
So, I have been, discussing some shit with this nigga. We were doing some business, me and this dude. Now, I'm going to tell you, he did give me some head way back a long time ago. Long time ago. A couple of years ago.
Jane went on to describe how she'd gone to handle some business with Jamael. She'd been to his uncle's house before. Nothing unusual about that. But this time was different.
So, boom. I'm riding down the street. I done got the nigga being Speedway, right? I'm damn near to the tire shops on 16th Street. I'm like, I don't left my phone.
She'd forgotten her phone. A simple mistake that would allegedly lead to a shocking discovery.
So I start calling my phone, and I start calling his phone, and wasn't nobody answering on my shop phone. I got a little flip. That's my shop phone, right? So, girl, yeah. So I'm on my little shop flip phone, and I'm like, boom, calling my cell phone, calling his phone. Ain't want nobody answer. So I'm like, damn. So now I done got back over there. I done parked right up by the front door, though, thank God, because they chased me out of there. They was trying to kill me. Yeah, they tried to kill me, so anything happened to me, y'all know they tried to kill me today.
What Jane claimed she saw next would destroy lives and spark a chain of events ending in death.
So wait a minute. So look, I'm in here. Hold on. I'm banging on the door. I'm like, boom, boom, boom. So I'm knocking on this door. I'm like, I need my phone. That's my money bag. I'm like, hitting this motherfucking door, and I'm like, won't nobody come to the door, right? I'm like, damn. Something told me to check the door. That motherfucker was unlocked.
Jane pushed that door open, and according to her,
when I stepped in there, y'all, oh my God, my stomach hurts. My stomach hurts. When I walked in there, y'all, what I seen with my own 2 eyes. Hold on. Thank God my phone was sitting on the table right there by the door. I swung that door open. I said, ah! And I couldn't even talk the words. I couldn't get the words out of my mouth, right?
Jane claimed she'd caught Jamael in a compromising position with another man. Not just any man, allegedly his own cousin. The shock, the disgust, the betrayal she felt. It was written all over her face as she told her story to hundreds of viewers.
And I just looked down and see my phone. I snatched my phone. They was standing there just staring at me. So them motherfuckers was looking like the devil. They was looking like they was really trying to kill me. So I just grabbed my phone. I was like...
But Jane didn't just grab her phone and leave quietly. As she was backing out of the driveway, she rolled down her window and made a demand.
So I jump in, start running. I done jump back in my car. Remember I told you I parked up by the door, right? So I get in my car, and as I'm backing out, I'm like, hey, you motherfuckers, y'all better come up out some money. Y'all be talking that big money and shit. Give me a couple of bands or something now, cause this right here, this is unacceptable. I'm out the window like, you motherfuckers is trifling, and you think y'all ain't gonna get me? So wait, dude said, come on back. I said, nah, you on bullshit.
Jane was attempting to blackmail Jamael. She wanted $5,000 to keep his secret safe.
I was like, motherfucker, send it, cash at me, mother. I said, if you don't cash at me in the next hour, I'm telling the whole goddamn city what the fuck going on. I told him just cash at me 5 bands. That's all. Shit, you in a $50,000 truck, I can't get 5 bands. I can't get 5 bands. So I was just like, cash at me 5 bands. That's it. And I ain't gonna sell a soul, you know. It won't be nothing on nothing. Huh.
But Jamael refused to pay. And Jane? She made good on her threat.
That motherfucker, look, I called his phone. He kept saying, bitch, I'm Howville. Ain't nobody gonna go against. I said, who the fuck is Howville? Don't nobody give a fuck about Howville. Who the fuck? Does anybody know what the fuck? What the Howville what? I was just sitting over there. I got a bag at Howville. I sat in you bitch faces and made a bag. What are you talking about? Enough to get me to my next location. So fuck a Howville. Who are ya? Howville, who is it? Anybody left? Who is this?
Jamael was reportedly part of some group called Hoville, but Jane didn't care about any of that.
I gave this ample opportunity. I even gave him an extra hour to come up with the money. I was like, listen, just run me the bag and I'll just try to forget.
When that didn't work, Jane did the one thing that would seal both of their fates. She exposed him with his name, his face, everything.
I don't know, but what I am gonna say is, Jamal, you got the right bitch today. Next time, take my threats for real. I don't know what will make you think I wasn't gonna tell nobody. That's what I'm trying to figure out. Yeah, I don't f with you like that, you weird ass nigga. These niggas is really crazy. I'm Howville. Okay, you're Howville. I'm behind the fair, bitch. I'm behind the fair. You know what I mean? I used to live down the street from Nakia. Nigga, who cares? Who fucking cares? The ghetto boys was living next door to me. Who cares?
The video went viral. Thousands of views, shares, comments. Within hours, all of Indianapolis knew about Jamael's alleged secret life. Jane had effectively destroyed his reputation with the click of a button.
Bitch, you should have just paid the bread. You the one walking around like you got so much motherfucking money. Nigga, well, you should have got me quiet then. 5,000, I would have thought maybe that you were sincere about being girl, right? You would have ran me about 5 G's. I would have thought that, you know what I mean? I could have maybe took you seriously. You maybe, you know, I don't know, but you declined. You thought you was going screaming at Howville shit and thought somebody was going to give a fuck about that shit. I don't give a fuck about a Howville. I sat over in Howville by myself and made a bag. Was leaving out of there with hundreds every day. What are y'all talking about? But what you're not going to do is never get back on my line again, you weird ass motherfucking dude. But today was your day to get exposed. Clearly today was your day. Because I'm here to tell you. I'm at the top of the mountain. I'm telling you like Moses, like I told you I was going to do. And I told you I was going to do this.
But as bold as Jane was acting, you could see the fear creeping in. She knew she'd just painted a target on her back. The next morning, at approximately 9:38 a.m., Jane Warfield was dead. It started with gunshots. Multiple witnesses heard them echo through the northwest side of Indianapolis around 10 a.m. that Tuesday morning. What they saw next was like something out of an action movie. A bright yellow Chevrolet Camaro, Jane's car, tearing through the streets at 90 to 100 miles per hour. She was fleeing for her life, but the bullets had already found their mark. Jane's car careened through a red light at 30th Street and Lafayette Road and slammed into another vehicle. The impact was so violent, it sent the other car spinning 3 times. When bystanders rushed to help, they found Jane slumped over in the driver's seat, unconscious and bleeding. She'd been shot twice in the head before the crash. Jane was rushed to the hospital, but it was too late. At 9:38 a.m., just hours after her explosive Facebook Live, Jane Warfield was pronounced dead. Now, you have to understand, this wasn't some random road rage incident. The police immediately classified this as a directed and isolated incident. Someone had targeted Jane specifically. And thanks to her Facebook Live from the night before, everyone in Indianapolis had a pretty good idea who that someone might be. Social media exploded. Did you see Jane's live? That question was spreading like wildfire through Indianapolis. People were sharing the video, commenting, picking sides. Some said Jane got what she deserved for trying to blackmail someone. Others said no one deserves to die over a Facebook video. But one name kept coming up over and over again: Blackmail Carter Sr. See, Jane had done more than just expose him. She'd made a second Facebook Live video that same night, and in it, she doubled down on everything.
And you kept on trying to tell me this was your cousin. So was it your cousin or wasn't he? I don't know. And kept having him in your videos all the time. Just some dude I had never seen him a day in my life. And come to find out, you and this sticking and moving. But I'm about to have to get out here, y'all, because I got some going on. But I had to just get this off of my chest. I had to just bring it to the community, because this type of right here, it got to be stopped. And if something happens to me or something like that, at least you guys know the truth, okay? Because he's quite upset about the change of events that have occurred at this point.
Jane had literally named her potential killer on camera. She'd told the world exactly who to blame if something happened to her. And now she was dead. The community was pointing fingers directly at Blackmail. Comments flooded social media calling him out by name. People were saying he'd shown his true colors and warning that if police didn't catch him, street justice might. But here's the thing. Police weren't making any arrests. Detective Brian Lambert was assigned to the case. But officially, no suspects were named. No one was taken into custody. Blackmail Carter Sr. had seemingly vanished. For months, then years, the case remained unsolved. Jane's family and friends held vigils, begged for information, demanded justice. But nothing happened. It seemed like whoever killed Jane was going to get away with it. The story should have ended there. Another unsolved murder, another family left without answers. But sometimes the streets have their own way of delivering justice. October 6th, 2022. Nearly 2.5 years after Jane's death, Indianapolis police responded to reports of a shooting in the Horville neighborhood, the same area Blackmail had claimed allegiance to in Jane's video. When they arrived, they found a man shot and killed in a field behind a residential home. The victim was identified as 41-year-old Blackmail Carter Sr. The man who'd been suspected of ordering Jane's death was now dead himself, shot down just like she had been. Just like with Jane's case, it appeared to be a targeted hit. Someone had wanted Blackmail dead, and they'd made it happen. Was it revenge for Jane? Street justice finally catching up? Or something else entirely? But here's where this story takes a turn that no one saw coming. Because while everyone was focused on Blackmail's death, on whether it was karma or coincidence, the real truth about Jane's original Facebook Live was about to surface. And it would change everything we thought we knew about why Jane Warfield really died. You see, there were people who'd been keeping quiet for years. People who knew Jane personally, who had been there during her final days. And they had a very different story to tell. An update video was shared by some of her close friends shortly after her death. In this video, her friends were driving to the crash site and they were talking about what really happened. What they said was shocking.
Janae let him foul the two kids. So they got into it. And so the cousin Jamal was supposed to pay her for it. But first she posted the picture of the dude. She told Monica to get on the picture and comment. Monica said, "No, I'm not getting in there." Long story short, the dude's not gay. That was made up. Yeah, she made it up. She was made up. She told me like, damn. Last night. Oh my God, Lord Jesus.
Wait, what? Jane's own friends were saying she'd made up the entire story? That Jamael wasn't gay? That there was no compromising situation? That it was all a lie? But why would Jane fabricate such an elaborate story? Why would she risk her life over something that wasn't even true? The answer would shake the very foundation of everything we thought we knew about this case. Multiple sources began coming forward, each telling the same shocking story. People who'd known Jane for years, who'd been close to the situation, who had receipts to prove what they were saying. One person who'd known Jane since way back posted publicly on a Facebook group dedicated to her memory. What he revealed was absolutely devastating. "I have known Janie for years and had to cut ties with her in 2013. She really had a mental condition and needed help years. I would hear things she did and every story just got worse. I knew something bad would happen to her one day. The real truth is she and Jamal's cousin did a tax scheme. She let him carry her children on his taxes. Anyone who knows you can't get along with her too long. She thought he already got the money back, but he didn't. So they got into an argument. He said he wasn't paying her ish. Then Jamal told her he would pay her since he plugged her in with the cousin, but only once he got the money from the taxes. No one has got tax money back that filed children. She demanded the money ASAP. Then she made up the whole story of catching them. It was all a lie. A tax scheme. That's what this was really about. Remember, this was February 2020, right when the pandemic was starting and tax refunds were getting massively delayed. When she demanded immediate payment and was refused, she decided to get her revenge by destroying Jamael's reputation with the most damaging lie she could think of. But wait, there's more. When sources started digging deeper into Jane's recent activities, they discovered something else that painted a very different picture of her final days. Jane hadn't just been beefing with Jamael. She'd been in multiple conflicts, had multiple enemies, and had been involved in several shooting incidents in the months before her death. In fact, there were other Facebook Live videos, ones that weren't widely shared, where Jane was calling out different people by name.
Imagine the little ass nigga, this little ass nigga Mario. Nigga, you pissy, broke, poor, pathetic, wannabe nigga. You. Or you little dusty ass bitch. I hate a whole broke down ass, nothing ass, leech ass nigga. Nothing worse than a leech ass, pissy ass motherfucking nigga. Does anybody know this? He's from off Medford. You're shooting at my motherfucking rental. You're so jealous.
This was a different guy entirely. Someone named Mario, who she claimed had been shooting at her rental car. Jane went on.
You're so mad. You're so mad. You're so mad. Trying to leech off me. He apparently thought that he was going to be my partner. Where? I know it's you. You need a motherfucking knock it off, Monkey Joe. The nigga who got busted is the same motherfucking nigga that used to come on Orchard that sent me out west. And I just know something that you just know. Like, I know this nigga put him up to it. I know he did. I'm just saying. That's what I'm saying. You sending crackheads to do a hit? What's up? God. Not on top of the other chain event that happened earlier. I'm not even going to discuss that. Gunshots and everything happened earlier. I don't know. There's been a whole bunch. Been a whole bunch recently. They hating on the kid. That's what I'm saying. It's a little town. I'm getting too big for this little town. That's okay.
Jane was admitting there had been other shooting incidents, other people trying to hurt her. This wasn't just about Jamael. This woman had made multiple enemies. Now, think about this for a second. If you were going to analyze Jane's story about catching Jamael in the act, it actually starts to fall apart when you really examine it. She said she went to his uncle's house, not his house. She said she left, drove almost all the way to her tire shop, then came back for her phone. She was calling both phones repeatedly. Yet somehow these guys decided to start having sex with the door unlocked while knowing she might return. The timeline doesn't make sense. The logistics don't add up. And now we know from multiple sources that it was all fabricated. But here's what's really tragic about this whole situation. Whether Jane made up the story or not, whether it was about taxes or secrets, the fact remains that a mother lost her life. A woman who clearly had mental health struggles, who was desperate for money, who made some very poor decisions. She still didn't deserve to die for it. And the ripple effects? They were devastating. Her daughter's boyfriend was killed within a week of Jane's death. 2 families destroyed.
It's a lot going on. She had a daughter. Her daughter's boyfriend just got killed. And I'm just like, ooh, she got killed. Then within a week of her death, then her daughter's boyfriend gets killed. And her daughter's like she was younger. Her boyfriend is younger. So I'm like, is this, correlating?
Multiple lives lost over what appears to have been a tax fraud scheme gone wrong. As for Jamael Carter Sr., we'll never know for certain if he was the one who ordered Jane's death. Maybe he was. Maybe someone else in her long list of enemies finally had enough of her threats and doxing. But with his death in 2022, any chance of getting real answers died with him. What we do know is that Jane had a pattern, according to that Facebook post from someone who knew her. Now them trying to off her and chasing her may have happened because this girl will push you to the limits. Talk about your kids, your mama, your grandma, stalk your house, your job, everything. Print obituaries with your face on it. Jane would push people until they snapped. She was playing a dangerous game with dangerous people. And on February the 17th, 2020, that game finally caught up with her. Jane's children are now left without a mother. They'll grow up knowing their mom died because of decisions she made, conflicts she created, lies she told. That's the real tragedy here. So what can we learn from this story? That social media can be a weapon just as deadly as any gun. That lies have consequences. That revenge and desperation can drive people to make choices that destroy everything. Jane Warfield's story isn't just about one woman's death. It's about the dangerous intersection of fraud, social media, mental health, and street justice. It's about what happens when keeping it real goes very wrong. Rest in peace, Jane. Rest in peace, Jamael. And may their families find some measure of peace, knowing the truth has finally come to light. I hope this story helps you recognize warning signs and encourage you to seek help or offer support before it's too late. I'll see you in the next episode of Crime of Passion. Thank you for watching.
You could have let me know you was getting down like it. He said, bitch, I ain't gotta tell you shit, bitch. I don't owe you no explanations, bitch. He's talking like a G, though. This nigga talking like he on gin, though. This nigga is talking like he's on gin, though, okay? I'm telling you, he's talking like a G. I said, boy, they told me they was doing it out east, but I didn't know y'all was doing it out west like this. I believed out east. I done heard about out east. I heard about you niggas out east getting nasty than a bitch about a bag. Y'all niggas, hey, out east, them niggas getting 20, 30 off white men are hurt. I don't know. But what I am going to say is, Jamal, you got the right bitch today, because I take it personal because you gave me, you administrated head on me before. So now I got to go, well, I stay in the hospital, so you know what I mean? I probably would have known if something would have happened to me behind this shit. But at the same time, you're not safe. You're not safe. You know, it's been a long time really since I touched you like that or whatever, but motherfuckers ain't safe out here, y'all. It's definitely not safe. They're sick, they're nasty, and they're just out here to get bitches. And they're out here, man, that shit is real. That shit y'all see, ATL, that shit is so fucking real. And it's starting to come down. It's tumbling down to our city. They're taking over. Everybody needs to check their nigga out straight up, because these niggas are playing like they this and that, and got the keys to the city and all this and that, and they under the sheets and the covers. So I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I've been super traumatized today about some niggas once again, because I had to witness some shit that I didn't come to see or nothing like that, and I don't appreciate it either. Because you know what? If you get down like that, you need to let motherfuckers know. You don't just do that kind of shit and just think it's okay. And then you was looking at me like you was going to do something to me. Bitch, I'm out of here. Yeah, bitch. I would have let him go right out my little car, honey. I don't move without my pistol. Never, bitch. Should have went to the door with that motherfucker. Good thing I didn't. Then pop one of them niggas. Hey, all I'm saying is, guys, you females don't make it no better. Y'all keep accepting these niggas back, and they just nasty, and they just do what the fuck ever they want to do and stuff. And now they just getting wild. I guess they just tired of us bitches. Now they fucking each other and shit. The shit's getting wild. All I'm saying is, be safe. Boat up on your dude. Boat up. I'm telling you, boat up on these niggas, because ain't no telling what's going on. I done seen this shit right here. I'm everybody suspect. After this right here, all you niggas is suspect until I determine otherwise. All you niggas on the list. All you niggas. I'm cool. I should have known. You know what though? I'm gonna tell you what the first clue was. The nigga was getting his toes done. This should have told it right here. The nigga was getting his toes done, y'all. And you know how you can change the face on live? You can change the face of the person that, you know, like you're looking at them. He was changing them into men and stuff. I understood when he was changing it to like women or characters, but when you was changing them into men, why do you have the men on your feet, baby? What are you doing here? I thought that was weird. That was the clue. See, it be clues. It be signs. And I just showed somebody that shit and was like, ain't this weird in a bitch? Why is he turning the camera into a man touching his feet? I thought that was disgusting. That wasn't number 2 weeks ago. And then, here we go. I walked into a mess. I walked into some smutty, nasty, disgusting shit. And I'll probably never be the same. I don't know. Star, I'm gonna never be the same. Never. And these little dusty ass niggas, they gotta be stopped. They're fucking disgusting. Now I'm wondering where you got the money for this truck and shit. You're probably fucking white men downtown. You hang downtown all the goddamn time. You down there fucking them white men. What's going on out here in these streets? For the better Indianapolis, for the greater Indianapolis, you need to knock that shit off. Y'all infesting our little town. We all gonna be dead. I ain't touching nothing else. I don't want no head off you niggas or nothing else. I'm cool. Y'all done showed me what time it is around here. I thought we was safe. We sorry than a bitch around here. Y'all ain't gotta worry about it. But one thing for certain, 2 things for sure, that bitch should never be back on this line a day in his motherfucking life. You should have just paid the bread. You the one walking around like you got so much motherfucking money. Nigga, well, you should have got me quiet then. 5,000, I would have thought maybe that you were sincere about being girl, right? You would have ran me about 5 G's. I would have thought that, you know what I mean? I could have maybe took you seriously. You maybe, you know, I don't know, but you declined. You thought you was going screaming that Hallville shit. Thought somebody was going to give a fuck about that shit. I don't give a fuck about a Hallville. Nigga, I sat over in Hallville by myself and made a bag. Was leaving out of there with hundreds every day. What are y'all talking about? I don't give a fuck about fucking Hallville. The fuck? Dusty motherfuckers. And now y'all out here passing out shit and anything else. I don't know what y'all got going on. But what you're not gonna do is never get back on my line again, you weird ass motherfucking dude. But today was your day to get exposed. Clearly today Where's your day? Because I'm here to tell you. I'm at the top of the mountain. I'm telling like Moses, like I told you I was going to do. And I told you I was going to do this. They chased me out the house, though. Hold on. They motherfucking pants was hanging. Hold on. God, wait a minute. Listen. I've never seen such. Thank God for the people that were outside and shit and kids and shit. They had to stop at the door because they got the top of apartments. They got the little hallway. They had to stop at the door because there were kids and shit getting out of school and stuff. And people outside, thank God. But I hopped in my truck and hopped in my car and was talking hella shit. I was talking hella shit. Boy, hey, everything I wanted to say, I couldn't say at that moment. But after I got to my car, I told them motherfuckers the truth about they trifling asses and told them how dare you motherfuckers. Ugh. These got on masks, y'all. They got on whole masks. Be safe out here. That's the only thing I can say is be safe. Be safe. I'm disgusted, but it's gonna be all right. But if anybody needs any tires, come on out, Castleton. Tons of tires. I got them all. I got tons of them. And I'll get back with y'all.